And
if they do that, they're going to be very, 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 very tough to beat.
Wilson! Oh! And we are tied!
Let's go! Call them by Slamma
And I don't ever let them forget where we come from.
Getting those phones out. Report me acting ignorant.
Dayon Kris got his way through, and he may go! Kris is in! Houston leads out of nowhere! Seventh heaven for Houston. The Cougars advance to their seventh Final Four. Go Coogs! Let's go! It's so good! The dream remains alive for the Houston Cougars!
welcome into another edition of Let's Rage Coogs presented by the Saxenian Family. Got to tweak that on the back end about the intro. But anyways, this is the Saturday night edition of LRC following 8th ranked Houston's 94-85 victory over 14th ranked Arkansas in New Jersey. A good win for the Cougars. And they had many players step up in this outing. We'll talk all about it in a second. But joining me as always, Dayon Dunlap, Kris, Gardner of the Houston Roundball Review. How y'all doing on this Saturday night?
Fantastic, man. Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm doing great. Great win right there tonight.
Kris, your backdrop says it all. Cougs win. And like I mentioned a few seconds ago, a lot of strength in numbers. A lot of players stepped up in different moments in this game. A little bit of an interesting way it turned out. Houston jumps out to that early lead, a huge lead. They were up 21 points at one point. Arkansas claws its way back, chips away, and then they were never able to get closer within that 10-point margin. Houston was kind of able to hold them at way. And in the second half, the guards, Kingston Flemings, Milo Uza, and Emmanuel Sharp, Arkansas really had no answer for them. Although early in the second half, Houston had no answer for keeping Arkansas off the glass. And in the first half, Acuff was torching the team as well. So a little bit of an interesting game between the Cougars and the Razorbacks. But what matters for Houston is they come out on top with the victory. And with this win, they improved to 11-1 on the season. Just one non-conference game left until they start Big 12 play pretty soon. What are you guys' overall thoughts on this performance against a really good Arkansas team that showed its capabilities tonight as well?
The Cougs won with offense for much of the game. They had a great stretch of defense and helped get to that 21-point lead where they forced turnovers and scored off those turnovers with the steals. I'm assuming my brother Dayon was smiling when the Cougs scored those easy buckets off those steals. At one point, it was 14 zip points off turnovers for Houston. They can score like that, man. That's a great positive going forward.
Yep, I was smiling ear to ear. And then I was just looking at the ratio of turnovers that they caused versus points off those turnovers. 19 points off of those turnovers. I mean, that was tremendous. And when they can get out and run and play fast and freely without having to go against a set defense, I think Emmanuel just Milo was able to create and make open shots. So it just opens up the floor and they're able to use the athleticism, especially Kingston being able to use his speed to get downhill.
In the second half, I think fans would be happy with. There was a stretch there, as Andy touched on it. The offense was simple. Beat Arkansas off the dribble.
Yeah.
The offense.
They're taking turns. It was Milo's one drive, one possession, and Kingston Fleming's a lot of positions, and Emmanuel Sharp even getting to the basket as well, and he popped a lot of threes on them as well. Like, it was pretty simple. It was our guy's going to beat you from point A to point B, and there was nothing that Arkansas could really do to stop Houston down that stretch.
Let me see what do you think it was I kind of think so. It was Houston's best performance so far this season?
I think it's their most clean performance, top to bottom. And I mean, well, it's still far from perfect. They dealt with some foul trouble, and then that flurry in the second half where Arkansas did a good job of crashing boards. They got a handful of offensive rebounds down the stretch, and Houston just kept following. They were a little fortunate in that aspect that really Arkansas couldn't make them pay for the amount of times that they were getting offensive rebounds and getting to the free throw line. Um, so that there's some areas there, but I think overall, top to bottom, that was a really good performance for Houston. Which again, they just did a good job of one. It never really seemed like the game was out of control for Houston. It seemed like everything was playing in not necessarily the Cougars' favors, but they were in complete control of the game. Um, because they just held Arkansas at bay. And even though there were stretches where Houston, you hope you'd nitpick that they would clean up some certain areas, they did. 94 points against this Arkansas team is impressive, and ultimately they got enough stops and they were able to do enough to really not ever let Arkansas be a real threat to kind of steal this one away.
I think it was the first game that all three guards played really well. And the way Kingston and Milos both made plays for others, it opened up the game for them even more. And they were both able to settle to the game really well. I think offensively, really just defensively, the quickness, getting in the passing lane, get deflection, and give steals. And that helped them go on that run. And were able to also get the stops. I think Coach Hampton did a great job of switching to the zone. That's something we never play a lot of, and really rarely play defensively. And they was able to disrupt Arkansas. I don't think they were expecting it at all. They only showed man on film. And so I think that wrinkle also helped them get some stops. But it was a good game overall, for sure.
And JoJo picking up the fourth foul with almost 18 minutes left in the second half was bad. He had done well recently, avoiding foul trouble. Took a step back today. Coach Sampson said it after the game as well. Mentioned that to Rothstein. But let's say it's been commented on by the viewers. Ramon Walker, his offense, being down, joked about it a few shows ago. It's like Shadow Creek Ramon Walker, and that's a great thing for Houston going forward.
And he's
Yeah,
looking
he
confident too, though. Like he ain't hesitating. He
yeah.
letting that thing go with confidence.
Yeah,
So that just to tell me that he been in the lab. I think he kind of really earned himself that role, and that's this going to be kind of getting down to the rotation. It's only one conference games left. I think the way the minutes was kind of divided tonight. I think this is going to be the rotations for the rest of the season. I know it's been different players at different times, but I think Ramon's going to start being the first off the bench. I think then Isaiah will be right in as far as the two guards. And then either Sacco don't come back, so then Big Sid to get out there. But I think the guard rotation, how it was tonight, I think that's how it's going to be. And Ramon played well. So, I mean, he was confident knocking down shots, uh, stretching the floor, driving as well. He looked really good today.
and said Lodge playing because Khalifa's injured. That's why Sid got so many minutes. When Khalifa comes back, the injury is not season ending. It's John Houston is taking his time for Khalifa to get healthy, as he should. So when Khalifa comes back, Sid won't play. How many minutes did he get?
Nine
He had
minutes.
2 minutes.
Nine
He
tonight.
had 9. That'll be cut probably to 2. So that should not be an issue going forward. But he didn't foul out. I was when he got the fourth one called him, I was like, oh, he about to foul out, but he didn't. And he picked up a rebound as well. Got a block shot after that fourth foul, too. So different things to still work on, areas to improve. In the first half, Coogs scored 40 points in like the first 10 minutes and then cooled off a bit. But that
Yeah.
first 10 minutes, those 40 points, that was without Emmanuel Sharp being hot. And then he scored 13 of the first 19 points in the second half, hitting his 3-pointers. So different guys stepped up offensively at different points. And, it's as Dayon said, Milo shot the ball well, Kingston shot the ball well, Emmanuel shot the ball well, and Ramon came off the bench with confidence. The Cougs won this game with offense. Really, they could have scored 100 if they slowed it down toward the end.
All three guards showed four more free throws. Milo's went 1 for 4. But everybody Kingston, Emmanuel, and Milos all got to the free throw line for the first time. And they all made, for the most part, made the free throws except Milos missing those three. I think that was big, just being able to, like you guys mentioned, to attack, get your man off the dribble, get down here, get in the paint, and then swing, and you make some of those shots. I mean, offensively, they couldn't stay in front of us in the half court and transition. And it seemed like that was the plan going in, but they definitely attacked and they did it every time. It looked a lot like the NBA philosophy,
Hmm.
attacking certain matchups, like creating certain picks to get certain matchup switches, and then attacking them. And so, I mean, we look good. I like how Kingston. I think he for sure might be lottery. The way he looked against another first round, because Acuff nice.
Yeah.
Acuff is definitely lottery, and seeing them two
Yes.
go at it, like both of these two next level point guards.
Yeah, both of them are probably the top 2 point guards come off the board in the draft next summer for sure. And I mean, I think Darius is 5th and Kingston 6th, in an
Yeah.
NBA draft big board. And it won't be an
Look at
issue
a
for Arkansas
comparison.
or Houston to get somebody to replace them because both programs are set and both coaches can recruit.
Looking at the comparison between the freshman guards, like you mentioned, Chris Darius Acuff, 27 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, just 4 turnovers. Played 39 minutes in this game for Arkansas, and then Kingston Fleming's 21 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 turnover. And like Dayon mentioned, got to the free throw line a lot, excelled really, just being aggressive. And even the shots he missed, I think Kingston Flemings did a really good job in this game of being able to get to the spots and rise up for either a mid range, or there was one time where they were sagging off. He pulled up with his three with confidence and didn't always necessarily make it, but he was able to get to any spot he wanted on a consistent basis tonight against the Razorbacks.
Agreed. And Darius Acuff, he is a strong young man.
Oh yeah, yeah.
To be a freshman, he is a strong dude. But it's Arkansas defense is a step behind probably the Cal's liking, but it's good to see the Cougs take advantage of that. So that's something you want to see. Take advantage of what your opponent isn't strong at. So that's a plus going forward in conference with a win against Middle Tennessee and then get ready for Cincinnati on January 3rd.
Yeah, Kingston did a good job of playing. He does at different paces. Yeah, he doesn't always play at one speed, and the way he changed up his pace and then his first step, and then he's going by a defender. So he hazy and then explode through his move. He can get pretty much to anywhere he wants on the floor. I mean, he got all the way inside. He got a pretty reverse layup that one that was nice, and the one he could have a straight line drive and finish. And so he's been able to break down the defense without having a screen is vital. So see, we have everybody showing that they can stretch the floor that we had on the court, and so it makes you hesitant to leave, and you gotta play 1-on-1, and he can beat his man. So
Looking at the overall final stats in this game for Houston and their 94-85 victory over Arkansas, Emmanuel Sharp led the way for Houston in scoring. He had 22 points. Again, like Dallin mentioned, did a good job getting to the free throw line as well. 7 of 9 shooting from the charity stripe. He had 3 rebounds, so he rebounded today, Chris. Got 3 rebounds, had an assist, picked up 3 fouls, only 2 turnovers for Sharp, and then Milos Uzan, the third leading scorer for Houston, had 13 points on 5 of 10 shooting. 4 assists, only 1 turnover. So think about the duo in the backcourt for Houston, Flemings and Uzan combined for 9 assists and only 2 turnovers. That's a ratio that Houston will live with. I mean, any team would live with any day of the week. And then Ramon Walker, like we mentioned a little bit earlier, but he stepped up big offensively as well. He had 12 points. He got to the free throw line 4 times, was perfect 4 for 4, and hit 2 big threes for Houston. And of course, we know that he's going to go out there and crash the board. He got 4 rebounds. And to Dayon's point about the rotation, this is probably what we're going to see a lot. Again, like Dayon said, when it comes to conference play, but Ramon Walker, 27 minutes in this game, it shows really the players that Sampson has confidence in. Uh, at this point, this is a big game against a big opponent, and like we mentioned earlier in the previous Let's Rich Coops leading up to this game a week ago on Saturday, I was going to be curious to see how the rotation kind of tightened up, and we saw it. These are the players that Kelvin Sampson trusts at this point, and it'll probably be what it'll be. Tonight was probably going to be what we're going to see during the big time conference play games coming up in a week and a half.
Rebound ended up 34-33. Arkansas 18-17. Razorbacks in the second half. It was nip and tuck there for a while. I mean, the Cougs didn't miss a lot of shots, to get
Huh.
offensive rebound opportunities. So, that's a rarity. It was 23-22 for the Cougs on the defensive glass. Arkansas 12-10 on the offensive glass. So, but salute to Isaiah Harwell and Chase McCarty. They both knocked down threes.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't play a lot, but they scored. Chase hit a corner three. It was an interesting game because different players for each team had an air ball. Arkansas had a couple of air balls, and we saw Mercy, I think Emmanuel, and Isaiah shoot an air ball. But both teams shot the ball well overall. I'm sure Cal will lament those 9 turnovers in the first half, and that when they got them in bunches when Houston had 6 steals and took that 40-19 lead. But Arkansas answered with what like a 12-3 run. But Houston led for 37 minutes and pretty much kept Arkansas at arm's length for much of the game. And I think you could see Cal down the stretch. He finished the game with 3 timeouts. So he could have extended the game. He could have fouled down the stretch. Lesson learned. He was good with that. And he knows he's got a great schedule rest of the way. So he's not worried about, anything extra.
Let's take a moment to remind everybody, thank everybody who's joining us on this Saturday night for this edition of Let's Rage Cougs, that this is the original Houston postgame show after each and every single men's basketball and football game. We'll be back next Saturday for the bowl game, the Texas Bowl between Houston and LSU, December 27th. Pod Slam and Jam will be from NRG Stadium, so I was approved for the credentials, so I'll get some post-game footage for that game following Houston and whatever happens in that bowl game against the LSU Tigers. And a big thank you to our sponsors for this edition of Let's Rage Coogs, beginning with Steve Saxenian. This is LRC presented by the Saxenian Family. Big thank you to him for being the primary sponsor of not only this edition of Let's Rage Coogs, but each and every single episode this season. And also a big thank you to Star Pizza, I should say, for being a secondary sponsor on this show in multiple locations throughout the Houston area. Star Pizza is your go-to stop before or after the game. Check them out online at starpizza.net. A big thank you to both of those sponsors for helping us out today. And take a moment, if you are interested in being a potential sponsor on a future edition of Let's Rage Coops, maybe next week's bowl game between Texas and LSU, reach out at the email that you see on the screen, letsragecoogs@gmail.com, all lowercase. Nothing fancy, all lowercase, just reach out. We have various packages, including for conference play that's about to start for men's basketball. And like I said, one football game left in the 2025 calendar for the Cougars, and that's going to be against LSU in that Texas bowl game. So we're open for business. If you want to help Cougs, helping Cougs, reach out via the email letsragecoogs@gmail.com, all lowercase.
And please do support the Cougs, support us, support Andy being at NRG, being at the Texas Bowl, and we're getting ready for Big 12 play. And we are making plans for hopefully attending the Big 12 tournament and covering the Cougs in the NCAA tournament. So please email letsragecoogs@gmail.com to help us cover the Cougs unlike anybody else can do.
This comment for you, Jacob McFarland is nowhere near ready to be able to be in a game of this caliber. Barely came back like a handful of games ago. He's got a long way to go.
His conditioning is a long way to go, and physically, he's not ready for that either, to go against physical opponents. No.
Big thank you, need us on YouTube. Me so Merry Christmas to Kris, Dayon, and myself, and Fluff as well. Fluff hopefully is able to join us in the next few minutes. But big thank you back, Nitas. Hope you have a good Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year as well. Thank you guys for the support on this edition of Let's Rage Cougs.
And I also want to thank her as well because she is a Houston Round Bottle Review YouTube member as well. Members only section, part of that also. So she gets inside info before anybody else. So become a member. And I'm going to say it right now. I discussed the number of Cougs Quadrant 1 Big 12 games. You need to watch that because it is last in the Big 12. The number of Cougs, Q1 games for the Cougs in the Big 12 is last in the Big 12. So
which
come on
makes
in
that
and watch
this
that.
game, Chris, to your point, which makes this game that Houston won against Arkansas much more important. It was a great opportunity for a Q1 win that Houston got.
Yes. So now if Cougs are 2-1 in Q1. But in terms of impact off the bench, Ramon Walker.
Yeah,
I think we're seeing it.
I was about
Ramon
to
Walker,
say.
sure, yeah. Who may be joining us at some point in future shows. Just putting it out there.
I think
And definitely Ramon for sure. Um, Even the big three that chase it was big, but as far as the entirety of the game, Ramon stepped up big. I mean, really sticking out to me, just the confidence on the offensive and the swagger he was playing. Defensively, you know what he's gonna bring.
Right.
Lockdown, extra rotation. He gonna be there for the rebounds, or at least the tip. He gonna be in there. He gonna be in there to take the charges like he did on A Cup. He's gonna be where he
mhm.
needs to be, or give that extra effort to make that winning play. And so, but I think just offensively, he continued to bring that. He's shooting on near 30-40%. I'm sure already from three. And so if he can continue shooting at this clip with everything else he brings, he's gonna be nice.
That confidence component too that Dayon mentioned earlier in the show, that's just awesome to see. And I posted this on X or tweeted, whatever you want to call it, but we all know the adversity that he's gone through the past 2 years, both when it comes to injuries to really battle, and we know how much of an impact he had his freshman season for Houston. That year they made it to the Elite Eight following their first Final Four run in 2021. So really awesome to see him not only be an impact for Houston in such a big matchup like this, but he's not like again you can see the confidence that head coach Calvin Sampson has in him as we're gonna transition to the four. Hold up. Let's bring in Fluff, who's joining us right now.
Keep talking, Andy. I'll take care of it. Keep talking.
All right, perfect. But anyways, looking at the numbers again, Chris Sanak, looking for the full game stats. I had it for a second. Give me a second. But Chris Sanak had 9 points, 4 of 8 shooting, hit the lone three that he took tonight. 7 rebounds in this game for Houston. Got a little bit of foul trouble, but was able to steer clear. Dan, what are your thoughts on Chris Sanak's performance tonight against Arkansas?
I think without foul trouble, he probably would have contributed even more offensively because he was able to get to some of his spots and even on the roll and make a mismatch, especially this attacking offensive glass. So I think this foul trouble really limited his numbers on tonight. But when he was out there, he definitely looked effective. He knocked down a couple mid range, just on the offensive end, impacting shots. The rebounds, he different. You could tell he going up and snatching the board, especially in the corner. He go get them. And think he was out there, he could have had a double double.
And let's welcome in Fluff McKiver. Fluff, how are you doing on this Saturday night?
Man, I'm doing great, man. I wish I could have. I'm in Pennsylvania right now. I wish I could have pushed back and made the game. But we had some games up in Pennsylvania this way, but I was able to catch the whole game. And love the performance, love the perseverance of us getting past that first half, that little end of the first half run. We came back in the second half strong. So that was good for the Cougs to find a way to really pull away playing against a great team.
Chris Fluff, Wanda brings up a point that when Emmanuel made one of his 3 pointers, they showed a graphic, and Fluff, you were listed as one of the 3 point record holders at U of H. That was an awesome moment here on the CBS broadcast that they had.
Yeah, I mean that was a great moment. I didn't even know about it. I didn't when I seen I'm watching the game and I said, "Dang, I'm second." I thought I was maybe third or fourth all time with in 3 pointers at the University of Houston, but I guess I'm second. But Emmanuel is on my tail, so to take that number 2 spot and hopefully the number 1 spot.
But Fluff, brother, when did you play at UH?
What did I play?
When did you play at UH? What years?
I played at 07, 06, 07, 07, 08.
So we're looking at 17, 18 years. He was number one in 3-point buckets
Yeah.
until Marcus Sasser took it a few years ago.
Yes.
Think about
Yes.
that,
Maybe
folks.
15, 16
15
years.
years
Yes.
ago, he had the record that long when
Yes, sir.
3-point shooting was not
Yeah, different
emphasized
style,
as much as
different
it is now.
style, very different style.
So
Kind of a year. Like I tell you guys all the time, kind of maybe a year too early, little year too early. Then Curry took it and blew it away.
But give you your
yeah,
flowers, brother. No
I
doubt.
thank you, man. I thank you guys, man. To be a part of a prestigious university and know that I did something there to have my feet in the ground at the school and on a live game like that. I will not lie. I was sitting here with my son and we watching the game and it came across the screen that I was number 2 all time. That was a great feeling and a great feeling to be a Cougar.
What did your son say when he saw Pop's name on the screen?
He like, man, Dad, I know you can shoot like that. Cause he think he shoot better than me now. So he like, Dad, I know you can shoot like that. So, to be able to the kids to see it. And sometimes you teaching and coaching and you telling kids about follow through and having a balance right and shooting the ball right all the time. They think you crazy. So to be able to see that on the screen, I guess they're gonna listen to me a little more now.
Excellent, excellent.
Fluff, overall, what you really think about what you saw from Kingston Flemings and the guards overall in this game? We were talking about it before you hopped on. There was a stretch there where Arkansas just flat out could not guard. They couldn't stop Flemings, Milos, or Emmanuel, and it seemed like for much of that second half, any of those guards, when they wanted to drive, they were either going to get fouled or they were able to go straight to the basket and create plays for Houston. And that was a big reason why Arkansas could never really get closer within that 10, 12-point margin for much of the second half.
Well, I think when we coming off the pick and they're doubling that pick and roll, us being able to make that pass to the middle kind of open up things as far as one-on-one abilities, as far as getting to the lane and getting to the paint, making things happen because they started to try that in the second half, and we kind of made every right decision when they were doubling our guards. So when we had the opportunities to attack, it was a lot of one-on-one situations. And I think that we capitalized on 90% of those plays, and we were poised at most of the plays that we made in that game from the guard position, from the perimeter position.
Kuz scored 8 layups in the second half. 8.
Yes, sir. And I want to ask everybody this, and Acuff surprised me a little, not surprised me, but he played very well tonight. Um, uh, and I just want to say that I was proud of Kingston in a sense of he didn't make it a one-on-one battle. He made it a Arkansas versus Houston battle. And sometimes kids get caught up in that with the matchup and they lose sight that it's about University of Houston versus the University of Arkansas. And I was proud of Kingston that he still played a smart game, even though, A Cup had some success offensively.
Great point. Because there have been times that folks watch sports, you see one player try to get win the one-on-one matchup rather than his team win the game
Yes.
and get out of himself and get out of team play. And Kingston did not do that. But Acuff he's that's a strong young man. He's a real deal.
He's the real deal.
he's a real deal.
He's the real deal. I'm not a hater, but I'm biased to my Cougs. But my son Robert McKiver Jr. been telling me about Darius Acuff for about 2 years. I'm like, man, whatever. I like Michael Brown and Kingston, but he been telling me for about 2 or 3 years that Acuff was a bad man, and he showed that tonight. He's a bad man. He's a bad man, but he just ain't a Cougar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He said, hey, listen, Brandy got a song out. Brandy has a song out, and it's called Almost Doesn't Count. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
hey, listen, Cal, we got you now. Hey, Cal, you had our number for some years. We got you. We got you, Cal. It's my guy though. Great game, great atmosphere.
And and Fluff is touching on it for folks who are new to the show. We're less rage Cougs, but we're going to call it like we see it. We're going to give other players or other teams credit if they do well. It's like we're going to be critical of Cougs when they don't do well. So we're not, we are the original Houston Postgame show, but we're not all sunshine and roses and don't give it to you wearing those rose-colored glasses either.
Yes, sir.
Love this. Two comments that have brought up the switch Houston made defensively. Yeah, Crabtree brought it up first, but what were your thoughts on the adjustment Houston made down the stretch in that second half? Really, when at the beginning to start coming out of halftime, Arkansas was really killing them on the glass, getting offensive rebounds and just getting to the free throw line. It seemed like every possession down, Arkansas was crashing, getting down there, and then Houston was fouling them, and that's where a lot of the foul trouble got. And Arkansas kept getting to the free throw line, and then Houston made that switch to that kind of matchup zone, and it really negated all those issues that they were having to begin the second half.
Well, I think we started gang rebounding more. I think sometime we get on a bit. Yo, shouts to Tugler. Tugler played good tonight, in my opinion. I like some of the finishes that he had. I don't know what he did. What did he do on the glass, Andy?
Tuckler had 4
Give me,
boards.
yep, he had 4 boards.
I was
He
just
really
about to
didn't.
give him some credit.
He would have more, but he got his
He
foul
Yeah,
played.
he
trouble.
played 15 minutes.
He played 15 minutes in the first half. He only played 2 in the second half. I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah,
Um,
they
he
were
picked up
talking
those
about
two
that.
early,
The fouls.
fouls, and
Yeah.
he sat pretty much the rest of the way. And again, especially after Houston kind of found, they caught lightning in the bottle once they made that adjustment, and Kelvin Sampson rode with the players that he felt had it going in that second half.
Well, I think that when you in the matchup zone, I think that the matchup zone gave us I think the matchup zone gave us leeway to gang rebound because
Uh-oh. Fluff will come back in a second from the hotel room. There you go. Now we lost it. Now we can't hear.
Well, if we need you to refresh, we can't hear you.
Yep. Hop out, hop on.
All right. In the meantime, Chris, Dayon, what did you guys think? Because really, that seemed like it was the turn. Now again, Houston kind of got Arkansas helped Houston a lot by not being able to convert on the free throws. Um, and when you look at the numbers specifically in that second half, the free throw was shooting was Arkansas got to the line 22 times in just the second half alone, whereas Houston only got to the free throw line 10 times. The difference is Houston made 9 of their 10 free throws. Arkansas only hit 13 out of their 22. So that's 9 points that Arkansas left on the table from the free throw line.
Oh, the Arkansas big man, Ewan, he was eating. Coogs big man, he got him in foul trouble. Malik Ewan took 17 free throw attempts. 17. He missed 7 of them, but, he caused JoJo got in foul trouble, as Coach Sampson said, with some numbskull fouls to get those 4. He's got to do better, especially with Khalifa out right now. JoJo's got to be better. He's got to be smarter and avoid that foul trouble. Cougs still won. They won with him sitting out the last 18 minutes of the game. That's a plus. Not something I want them to rely on all the time. So JoJo, stay out of foul trouble. And the Cougs won with offense. Let's say it again like that. They won with offense.
We
Yeah.
can hear you. I'll bring him in right now. Actually, Chris, can you bring him in? I don't know why.
Yeah. Let's see.
It looks a little odd on my end.
Yeah, getting downhill offensively, I think really opened up the floor for our guards.
Go ahead, Fluff.
Oh, so what I was saying, sorry for the technical difficulties, but what I was saying was that we in the matchup zone is we're able in a matchup zone we could gang rebound a little better. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times we get on the bigs about rebounding, but sometimes they're tangled up with the big and those rebounds are long. So you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? We have to be able to all our guards have to be able to get those long rebounds and make things happen like that.
And to that, Kingston had 6 rebounds tonight, so he had 6 of them. So that's good. And Ramon had 4.
Yep, yep, yep,
And
yep.
Emmanuel had three too, which after a few games where he had gotten one rebound, or there was a couple where he had zero rebounds. That's a much welcome sight too.
I love the way Emmanuel played tonight. I love the way Emmanuel played tonight. I could tell he's working on his game. I could tell he's working on his game. I'm very proud of Sharp tonight. And congratulations to him moving closer to being the number one 3-point shooter.
When he
What
when he
about his,
when he passed you, we got to see about getting him on, man.
Yeah, man, he gotta show us some love, man. We
We got
come
to.
on.
That's only right.
It's only right. Congratulations, man. You're getting up there.
Fluff
We'll,
on
we'll make that
Emmanuel
happen.
real quick? On Emmanuel real quick. What was it about tonight that you really just like from him? Was it his aggressiveness, or what was it?
The aggressiveness, like not just like launching, like meaning like just being a little more aggressive to the basket. You know what I mean? Like trying to make plays. You know what I mean? Like whether they worked out or not, like just being aggressive with the high IQ of it while being aggressive. I like, the way he played tonight.
9 free throw attempts for Emmanuel.
You see what I'm saying, Chris? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like just like I'm going at you. You know what I mean? Like I love that from him today.
And he took 9 threes. So I like it when he takes,
It was both.
yeah, as many free throws as threes. I like that.
Yeah.
That means he's aggressive.
Yeah. What do you guys think? You got A Cup, you got Kingston, what you got?
I mean, it depends on the team, but I mean, both of them are going top 10. I mean,
You
just,
got
Yeah.
you the Houston Rockets. Who you got? Who you take?
oh, wow. If I'm the Rockets,
Because Rockets need no. Do they need a point? No, they don't need a point guard.
well, yeah,
Well,
they
they
do.
do. They
Yeah, they
do
do.
right
Without
now.
Fred
Yeah,
VanVleet, yeah, they do.
yeah. Because Van Fleet's gonna come back a little slower than he was. I'm not being funny, guys.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
saying. Like he already got a slow mo game, and now he coming back off the injury. He might be a little. They might need some young blood in there.
But yeah, that's a good call. I think Kingston Flemings would be more of a Ime Udoka kind of player. Um,
Ah,
you know,
that's deep, Chris. Cause he like Samson.
yeah,
He
yeah,
ain't with none of that prima donna stuff, man. Nah, bro, get out of here. Tell him, okay. I think he's one of the coaches like, okay, they fire you or they fire me. I've been fired before. They fire you or they fire me. It's no big deal. What do you want to do?
I'm thinking about for the Mavericks because we need a point guard. A cup for Fleming. For what we need, ooh, see the difference between them two. Acuff is a little stronger while Kingston's a little quicker, a little bit more explosive. And from what I seen tonight, I think the playmaking is probably about to equal. I like Kingston's shot, shot making a little bit more, but I think Acuff equals that with being a little stronger and being able to play. He's just a little bigger to see
yeah.
Yeah,
I
on
think
TV.
Jay
So
I
Kidd
think
you,
like
Acuff.
Acuff more.
yeah.
Yeah, because he's got already more of an NBA body ready to go off the
And
bat.
I know we don't flip talk our players, meaning flip talk the game, but just watching the game, just talking, about the game, the Arkansas Houston game, but just of course we're happy that we won, but one of their enigmas is Dewan Wagner Jr., man.
Yeah,
Like that is one of their that was a big reason why we won tonight because when it was time to like make those timely baskets or timely decisions, he couldn't do it. You know what I mean? So that let us off, not let us off the hook. Of course, we are playing defense to make those stops, but that definitely was a big part of us getting a victory today or this evening.
I mean, there were times I forgot he was on the floor. I forgot Wagner until he made a 3 in second half. I forgot he
And
was
they
playing.
said that gives DeJuan Wagner 8. It was 3 minutes and 3 seconds left on the clock. They said that gives him 8. So that means that, and then the announcer said too little, too late.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, I don't know. I think that was a big reason why we was able to, because you think about it, we got Kingston, Ooze, and Sharp rolling, playing. You
Yeah,
know,
for the first time, they all shot the ball well today.
And Ooze only had 1 turnover. So, you know what I mean? If you go 3 guards, or even if you want to say 3 perimeter players versus 3 perimeter players, we killed that matchup. So even though A Cup had a great game, if you look at the other 2 perimeter players, who would you go with? Malik Thomas and DeJuan Wagner Jr., right?
Yep.
Or Knox?
Knox was
Whatever.
monster.
Knox really struggled.
Yeah.
So it's like when you look at it 3-on-3, as far as the perimeter, that was a big story of us winning the game this evening. Is that 3-on-3 matchup of
Yeah.
1-2-3 on 1-2-3? We won that by a landslide.
Yep.
That's crazy when you combine Fleming's, Uzan, and Sharp. They combined for 56 points, 10 assists, only 4 turnovers.
You're not gonna lose a game like that when you're a perimeter. The bigs are just funneling what they need to do. You know what I mean? But I think that was a big reason why we were successful.
Agreed. And the 3 of them play like this. As we've said it, Coach Sampson says it. Be consistent. Stack these games up, game to game. But if the 3 guards play like the perimeter players, I like what Fluff says like that. Play like this and shoot the ball as efficiently, Houston will be tough to beat.
Mm-hmm.
But let's touch on it real quick. The TV put the stat up there toward the end of the game, final minute or two, about what a difference a year makes for the SEC. How last year, great record against the Big 12. This year, I think they're 6-16 against the Big 12.
Wow.
31 and probably 46 counting the loss. Today's loss against Power 4. Yeah.
The best conference in the world in America.
But
it is what it is.
Now they got to get more than one. Do what the SEC did last year to the Final Four. Get more than one team to the Final Four.
Yes.
Of course, as long as one of them Houston, we don't really care about the other ones. But still,
who won that UNC Ohio State game?
UNC pulled it out late.
I fell asleep on that one, and I swear it was like when the game was starting, my eyes opened up. We was playing. I said, "Oh, okay, this is the game." You know what I mean?
But that was a great win. UNC got a dunk with like 6 seconds left, and then Ohio State had a chance. They took a 3, they got an offensive rebound, and then the
putback was
putback
blocked.
got blocked. Yeah, it got blocked. So that was a great win for UNC. They're having a bounce back year after. I mean, it looks like they're back towards the top of the
It's all about
college
chemistry
basketball
and
landscape.
vibes, Andy,
Yeah.
Kris, Dayon.
Mm-hmm.
You can have whatever team you think you have. The Dallas Mavericks beat the Miami Heat in the finals. It's because they liked each other more and they loved each other more, and they wanted each individual on their team to be successful within winning the games, and that's what makes you win. You know, and that's chemistry is everything. Like they talked about during the game, they said that out of 14 guys, 12 guys are in retention that have come back and play with our squad or play with the University of Houston. That means they just love to be there. So, that's why UNC is doing, better this year. All that drama is kind of, that was the last couple guys of the drama.
That's part of it, for
getting
sure.
out there. Yeah.
It'd be nice if Texas Tech could beat Duke today for the conference, but they're losing by 7 right now.
How much time left?
Still in the first half, late in the first half.
Okay.
But technically, that win for them for their resume. Honestly, they kind of
Yeah. Yeah,
have
they've
big.
lost a lot of big matches so
Yeah.
far in non-conference.
But they'll be right in the tournament as a 6. Because even when you get the Big 12, I could be wrong, guys, but like even when you get the Big 12, if they go 60%, that still kind of has them at a 6 seed, 7 seed, right?
Most likely, I
Yeah.
mean, Arizona right now, Arizona, Iowa State, and BYU, and heck, even Kansas right now have better net rankings than the Cougs.
That's crazy.
Kansas is one spot ahead of Houston in the net. That'll probably change, flip flop probably tomorrow after Houston win over Arkansas today.
Are you guys okay with us being 8 like this and we have this one loss? Are you guys okay with that?
In the coaches poll and stuff that you're talking
Yeah.
about,
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't
In the
care.
national polls.
Yeah, I don't care about the coaches poll or the AP poll. Those aren't really that important to the committee when it comes to seeding. The issue
Yeah.
is the Cougs, I think, 14th in the net. And Arizona's 4, Iowa State is 5, BYU is 7. That's the issue.
Well,
Plus,
we'll get them.
they only play them once each. Another issue.
I think it's a little too low. Being from we only lost one game from when we was number one to Tennessee to a good team. 8 is really too low. I think. I think
I
a
mean,
lot
we
of
should at least be 4.
right. I agree with that. I think we're a little too low.
Come on,
I
man.
think once we start racking up these conference wins and we run through the conference, we definitely get right back up.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it's going to take. Because, I mean, Arizona, Michigan, other teams are playing well. Michigan's winning, looking great. Duke's winning, undefeated, looking great.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona, UConn,
Great.
Purdue got there behind, kicked it home, but they bounced back with a win over Auburn by almost 30.
Mhm.
One thing that hurt the Cougs is earlier, like in November, they weren't getting blowout wins. So the people at the NCAA can say margin of victory is not important. That's a lie. The perception is it's important because they'll look at it, well, Houston only beat Syracuse by whatever, and then compared to another team, well, they beat Syracuse by 25, whatever. That's the look at. They won't study the game and see how it happened. So that's part of it as well.
Yep. Yeah, and that's why it pays to be in a big time conference that
Yes.
we're in, because now you could go 14-4 and you're like, yo, listen, we're the number 1, number 2 seed because look where we play at. So that's where, we kind of brought, I guess, before the conference play is kind of like buying time to even prove more to the committee that we're big time.
And also Florida State hasn't helped. Houston's
Yeah.
win over Florida State was okay, but then Florida State lost at home. One loss to Georgia at home was about like almost 30. So that hurts the Cougs as well. That
Right.
perception. So that's part of it too.
Right. I get what you're saying. I get where you're
But
coming from with that
Cougs in
too.
the Big 12, they have their chances to get the wins, to get right. It'll be fine.
And that's what helped them last year, right? Especially coming out of Vegas when they were 4-3 and the sky was falling for
And they were 20 in the net.
Yep.
Yep.
And then they obviously we know what they turned around and they did in the Big 12 conference play, which is just, impressive, and it's not going to be done again because they reduced the number of conference games, but still a lot. And like you said, Fluff, a good luxury that Houston has, being able to be in one of those not only Power Four conferences but the Big 12, which this year, it looks like they're back to the how they've been advertised as the best conference in all of college basketball, and they're living up to the part so far early in non-conference this year. But like Kris said, it's going to ultimately come down to see what the teams are able to do come the tournament time in March,
Let's
which
do
is
it. Let's do it again,
a
Andy,
nice change. Go ahead,
for
Kris.
everybody. Remember, or if you, for everybody watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, if you did not see, hear, read about, Commissioner Betty Yormark said the Big 12 Conference is the second best league in America behind the
behind the
NBA.
NBA. And then, they're living up to it so far in non-conference. And that's such
That's
a big
deep.
luxury.
Yeah,
Big luxury that Houston has compared to when they were in the American, and that the non-conference games just carried a lot more meaning and weight, because even though they were still dominant in conference play, there was still that but they're doing it in a so-so conference. Not the case anymore for Houston in the Big 12.
We run the Big 12.
and we're gonna start that come January 3rd at Cincinnati in Fifth Third Arena. Yeah,
That's a great segue. So before they get to January 3rd and they play Cincinnati, they have one more game, one more non-conference game, and that's Monday, December 29th. So they're getting some rest in between, getting a lot of practice days, so they won't take the court again for 9 days. December 29th at home, Fertitta Center against Middle Tennessee, and then they play Cincinnati on January 3rd, like you said, Chris. So only one more non-conference game left for Houston, and then they get into the conference play, the Big 12 play. Um, so we're just ready, getting closer, checking boxes, and before you know it, we're going to see what Houston's able to do against the gauntlet that is the Big 12 year in and year out. There's one thing I want to bring up before we kind of close down, and that's obviously the news that came out. These days are mixing in, but correct me if I'm wrong, Chris. This came out yesterday,
yeah,
Friday. Kelvin Sampson being named a finalist. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but for the Hall of Fame, the Basketball Hall of Fame, the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame.
correct.
Congratulations to coach.
And the question is, will he get in on the first try?
What do you think, Chris?
I think he should. I don't think he will, because I think some voters will hold over the Indiana stuff, hold it over his head.
Well, well, saying that, Chris, I don't disagree with you, but I think that and Coach Price is a big witness to this. Is I think that we don't realize how great he was at Oklahoma. Now that he's at Houston, I don't think we realize what he built in Oklahoma first. So he really built that program up to be respectable. And I, you know, I think what he's done at the University of Houston is is one of the most legendary stories that has, that's been made, because at the end of the day, you have the Dukes, you have the North Carolinas, you have, all of those, Arizona, you have UConn, whatever you want to say. Those universities and those entities have been rolling as far as at a high level this whole time. He literally took um nothing and made it not just something, he made it legendary. So I think that should be a big part of the discussion of letting him in the Hall of Fame. And and if he doesn't get it the first time, he definitely get it the second and the third.
Agree. I think the momentum from Houston and the renaissance of how he built this program and the prominence of what it is year in, year out will be that I think would think the conversation make him a first ballot. Because like Fluff is saying, the Renaissance, the only time you ever really paid attention to Houston was when he had Elijah Wan and them days. And so to bring it consistently year in and year out, year in, year out for what, 9 plus years, 8 plus years,
Mhm.
consistently year in, year out, and we're gonna be right back there again this year. I think the momentum from that and then going to the championship last year is gonna prepare him to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I want y'all to be
We know.
right. I do. I
I
do.
know. I know.
But there are some writers who
Yeah.
surprise me when they still bring up Indiana and what he did at Indiana.
What's the
And,
big deal about Indiana? I
and I'm
want to
like,
know.
what are y'all talking about? The phone call issues, all that kind of stuff, and they won't let it go. So there are some folks who just won't let it go. And so that might be a factor in him not being a first ballot Hall of Famer. Like I said, he deserves to be in Hall of Fame. To me, to us, no question. But I would not be surprised. I'd be disappointed, but I would not be surprised if he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
A couple things to add on, just like Dayon said, going back to just the lack of relevance for the Houston program. And Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, but since between 1984 and 2017, how many times did Houston make the NCAA tournament during that stretch? They did it in 2010, correct?
I think it might have been
I think
just
it's like one time.
one time.
One
Yeah,
time.
which, and then to Dayon's point, since 20, they've made it 2018, 2019, 2021 Final Four, 2022 Elite Eight,
Three
2023
straight
Sweet
one seeds.
16. Yeah, 2024 Sweet 16, and they would have gone further if Jamal Shedd doesn't, roll his ankle,
I
and
tell
obviously
Duke
got
fans all the time. I hate when I see a Duke fan. They
hurt.
talk about that game right there. That game right there. I hate when somebody even would smell Duke. I'd
Because
be like,
Houston
man,
was
y'all
on
got
pace to
so
blow the
lucky that
doors off.
game. Are you kidding me?
It
They're
looked
like,
like
well,
Houston
it
was
ain't
on
our
pace.
fault. I'm like, man, if Shad doesn't get hurt, I think we run to the thing if he doesn't get hurt.
I mean, and Jamal was playing. He was that dude, and opponents knew he was that dude. Okay, so Jamal, his game got to that level where opponents are like, "Well, if Jamal has the ball down the stretch, we're going to lose." I mean, that's the level he was
Yeah,
at.
He
that
was
was the
rolling.
run he
Yeah,
was
He was
at.
that's
rolling.
the level he was at. For
Yeah.
sure.
So to the point, that's a phenomenal turnaround that Kelvin Sampson has done. That's seven straight years in the NCAA tournament after only one in 30 plus years. That in and of itself speaks to the testament of the job that he's done at the University of Houston. But to your point, Chris, quite frankly, that's probably why it's taken so long for him to be a finalist for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I mean, there are people who, I mean, as a writer, you're supposed to be objective. You're supposed to be, you are supposed to be. If you are a good journalist, good reporter, good writer, but the human element gets involved, and some folks who are petty, and some folks just won't forget, and some folks just sum it up. Some folks are just haters.
Yeah.
So if those haters are voting, then they might keep Kelvin off the ballot on their first time. But and Fluff knows this, and I'm showing my age. And when I say in the wrap up, if you're new to the show, I've been covering the Cougs a long ass time. Out of those tournament, it's 30 years. What, one time? I mean, from 94 to now, to the Tom Penner's era, the Cougs were at the tournament one time.
And that was off they won. They were kind of a Cinderella, right? They
Yes,
won the
they
conference
won the
tournament.
Conference USA. They won 4 straight days
Mm-hmm.
to
That
get
was
to
Aubrey Coleman.
Aubrey Coleman. I have a picture of Aubrey Coleman in tears wearing the championship cap. But that was it. So I've been around the irrelevance. So now to be, let me say it again. Cougs have been a 1 seed 3 straight years.
Yeah, that's big time.
So
That's
to
unbelievable.
not be in the tournament for almost 30 years in a row to 3 straight years of 1 seeds, it's the resurrection of the program.
Yes. Of a city, of a culture. Because there was an old culture of Guy V. Lewis.
Yes.
So it's so deep when you really look at it. He's brought it back. So
I believe and agree with Crabtree. The job Kelvin did, and what Dayon and Fluff have said, his job at here alone is worthy of the Hall of Fame. But
100%.
those haters, I'm just, like I said, I won't be surprised if he's not.
I seen that I seen that flash too today too. But yeah.
I want to be wrong. I do. I want to be wrong. But I just don't. I doubt it.
Once again, to segue back to the game, Houston, the 8th-ranked Houston Cougars come out victorious 94-85 over 14th-ranked Arkansas Saturday evening in New Jersey. They again 94-95 with the win. Emmanuel Sharp leading scorer, 22 points. Kingston Flemings right behind him, 21 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, only 1 turnover. Milos Uzan, 13 points, 4 rebounds, or 4 assists, I should say. Only 1 turnover as well. Darius Acuff for Arkansas led the way, led all scorers with 27 points. He had 7 assists and 5 rebounds in the losing effort for the Razorbacks. Big thank you to everybody that took the time out of their Saturday evening to join us for this edition of Let's Rage Coogs. Had a good turnout. We had a little bit of a it's Houston, right? We had a late arriving crowd, but hey, they showed up. Big thank you. And if you're watching us uh on demand or wherever you may be watching audio only platforms, big thank you for the continual support. This is Let's Rage Coogs, the original Houston postgame show after each and every single football and men's basketball game. Will be live next week following Houston's bowl game, the Texas Bowl, Houston LSU from NRG Stadium. I got approved a credential, so we will be live from NRG Stadium with
Late
that
show.
8:15 kickoff. So that's going to be probably close to midnight, if not exactly midnight start. So grab your coffee or whatever you stay for some LRC After Dark and hopefully discussing a double
LRC after
digit
dark. I like that one.
victory, a double digit or not a double digit winning season for Houston. Hopefully they can get to 10 wins with their Texas Bowl over LSU. But whatever happens, we'll be there to discuss it next week, next Saturday night. And in the meantime, big thank you again. Big thank you to Steve Saxenian for being the primary sponsor of this edition. Big thank you to Mike and Jennifer Pittman with Star Pizza for being a sponsor on this show as well. Check them out online, starpizza.net. Multiple locations throughout the Houston area. Variety of different pizzas, desserts, all you can eat pizza buffets on Tuesdays and Fridays. Dizzy busy LRC Bowl preview show. We got to get it done. We got to do it for one more. So stay tuned during the week as we preview Houston LSU, and we'll be back on the 29th as well. Whenever Houston takes on Middle Tennessee for their final non-conference game in men's basketball as well. Uh, Big thank you again to everybody. The last thing I'll tout before I hand it over. But if you are interested in being a sponsor, either for conference play right around the corner for men's basketball or for the bowl game, reach out to the email that you see on the screen. That's ragecoogs@gmail.com, all lowercase. We're open for business. That includes being a sponsor for the comment section that you see in the middle of the show. That's sponsored clips, sponsored highlights, maybe sponsoring
Special edition
Jehovah,
shows.
special edition shows, special edition guests, like Kris mentioned earlier. Hopefully, we are able to have Ramon Walker and multiple different guests throughout the season for multiple sports. If you haven't checked out our conversation with Coach Bishop from earlier in the week, go back and do that. We recorded that on Wednesday night, and that was a really, really good show. He gave a lot of insight and really perspective on Keyshawn Henderson, the upcoming 5-star signee for UH football, and talked about his role now that he's officially joined the staff for UH football. So go check that out on our platforms, Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel, Podslam Majama YouTube channel. Again, open for business. We have plenty of things that we could potentially partner with, and that's the keyword, their partnership. So reach out once again, one more time. That's ragecoogs@gmail.com. Coogs helping Coogs. That being said, Kris, I'll toss it over to you. Where can people find you and anything you'd like to plug, sir?
Thank you, young fella. Give a shout out to Dizzy Busy and Nita Snyder as well as Ms. Wanda, because they are members of the Houston Roundball Review YouTube members only section. And I think they've already seen the video I posted earlier today about getting more details regarding the Cougs men's team having the fewest Quadrant 1 Big 12 games of any team in this conference. Last. You need to go watch that video, become a member. It's $3 a month. So you can get it for $3 right now for the month and go watch the video. $3. I choose to believe y'all have $3. Okay? I choose to believe that. But, and more first, you get those videos first. You get them before anybody else. You get them for the public. And some of those videos, it's only just for members only. I don't share it to the public. But to Fluff, Dayon, Andy, to everyone, happy holidays, happy Kwanzaa, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all those great things as well. So great win for the Cougs today. And touched on it. We have probably a few other guests that we're working on getting for Let's Rage Coog special edition shows. So as Andy said, email him and help Coogs up in Coogs. Let's make that a thing for 2026. Wrapping it up for me. Since 1994, the Houston Round Ball Review. Local name, global perspective.
Well, I like to say, man, thank you, of course, for the opportunity of being on here with my brothers on Let's Rage Coogs. Great win tonight. I mean, this evening against the Arkansas Razorbacks. And, you could catch me on my page on Instagram, Rob McKiver or Elm City Elite. We out here at Made Hoops. We are currently 4-1. We are the second seed on the whole northeast side of the bracket of Made Hoops. We've worked hard to get to where we got to go, and hopefully we're producing one or two future Cougars in the program. I'm sure one for sure. And you know, just let's keep supporting Let's Raise Cougs, and let's keep supporting the Cougars as we keep rolling. Go Cougs.
The man with the plans, the one that like to brag and boast, to do the most. Your host with the most. Ice D, the coldest in the wintertime, in the summertime, the year round with this. Cougs, man, we about to take it all the way. Another good dub tonight. It almost got BTA. They battled back, but it was almost BTA on them boys. So they really knew that we had too much fun, too much athleticism, too much skill. And I think the momentum that we got going into the conference, we finna roll through Middle Tennessee and then welcome Jizzle James back to Cincinnati and where he used to, or to get some Cougs. Go Cougs, baby.